But right now, it is time to bring on the Ric Hare, drummer from Basket Case and Rebel Yell, and an amazing volunteer and Drummathon Committee member. What is up, dude?
What?
I know.
Oh, wait.
What
Am
is
I allowed
up?
to do that? Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
bring
go for it.
hordes of screamers with me.
You're just like,
oh, my Lord. How are you, Miss April?
I'm great, dude. I need to get like that button, like, have like a pad of like different sound effects to just like throw in the show,
Oh, wait. What is that commercial? We go night now with the sleep apnea one where you push the button and they go to bed. You're like, I just need a button to push.
I just need a button to push. Come on, man. Oh my God. Yeah, I totally want to do that. Well, I'm so thankful that you could come on. We actually had, I think it was John Inman was going to be on, and I think he had a gig come up. And
wait, I got second to John.
I was like, yeah, I'll pull in Rick. No, dude, come on. I was actually excited because this was the one show in the month of April that we didn't have a volunteer as our second guest, and I really wanted every show to have a volunteer on it. So I'm so excited that it could be you, man.
It's just a little me.
I know, dude. But it's cool to have you because, we've talked on this show before, but some of the things that I never get a chance to do with my friends who are in the music community here in Dallas is to talk about like how it all stinking began, man. So like, I want you to like zip back in your brain. Yep, take us. It's like.
Okay, wait. You do realize I don't have a brain, as Amy always says. I have a gerbil on a running wheel, and half the time he sees a squirrel and he trips and he gets slung around a couple times, and then that's what I've got. I'm gonna upgrade. I'm gonna get dual gerbils.
It's like
that's my new
spaghetti brain over there. So like I always tell everybody, I'm like, Lord. I was like 5 years old for myself, and I was at a music store and I saw a pair of drumsticks, and that was kind of like what kicked it off for me. But what was like your point in your childhood where you were like, drums, man, I want to play drums?
Wow. Okay, so nobody's really ever interviewed me, so we're gonna do this the right way. I knew I wanted to be a drummer probably about age 5, 6 as well. Okay, right in there. I love music, but I didn't. My mom had a piano. She was always playing piano, and I would mess around on it, but it never really stuck. And then 6th grade, signed up for band, and I wanted to be a drummer, but they had already filled all the spots, so I got to be a trumpet player. I was like, okay, this bites. So I took the trumpet home.
I have to stop you because it's so stinking weird. I had the same conversation with Christy Johnson, but we both like. You'll have to watch her thing. But I played trumpet in 6th grade myself, and then switched to French horn. So I don't know what the deal is with musicians and trumpets and French horns and everything, but dude, keep going. All right, so you're playing trumpet
and French horns. French horns are very sexy, by the way. I always love the sound of the French horn. So you're like, wait, thank you. So I took this trumpet home, and I'm like, this sucks butt. And typical in the evening, I'm watching Dallas. We were living in Florida at the time. I'm watching Dallas or like Dukes of Hazzard or something. So I pick up the trumpet to start messing around summer vacation, and I actually learned to play the theme song to Dallas just from ear. And so, of course, we go to, first day of school and everybody's messing around. I start playing it. The teacher's like, have you had lessons? I'm like, no, I just watched the TV show and learned how to play it. And so I was off and running as a trumpet player. I remember my very first actual concert. I always say it's Men at Work. It wasn't. It was actually, I went and see Chuck Mangione because at the time, the big song was Feel So Good by him. And, just amazing to see him play. But there was always still a yearning for drums. So let's fast forward through middle school, through high school. And as I graduated high school, I was like, what the hell? I got a guitar, because I was like, if I can't be a drummer, let me take up a guitar. That lasted about 30 seconds because the strings were too small and close together, and I didn't have the coordination. I was like, okay, I don't play like those guys. This sucks.
You didn't have the dainty fingers for, and the precision for something like that. Small target zone was just like not working for you.
Yeah, not even a little bit. So I graduated high school. I spent a year working for the American consulate in Bermuda at the grounds. And then I went off to college and couple of years of college, I drop out of college and move to Seattle to be with my mom. This is now, let's fast forward to 1990.
So at this point, you're still not playing
not
drums.
A drummer.
Not a drummer. So you're like in your 20s or something.
I'm 20, almost 21.
Right.
Okay. I'm in Seattle and I've been there about a month, and I know that there's a lot of bands playing, and I was like, I'm living in my mom's garage paying rent. And so I'm like, screw it, Mom, can I practice drums? She goes, you don't have a drum set. I will. And I went and bought my first drum set, and it was a brand new Fire Engine Red Premier drum set. And I
nice, man. Nice. I mean, a first kit? You're kidding me, man. Mine was Sears and Roebuck. Come on.
No, it was a Premier. And I thought it sucked butt. And I realized all these years later that it was actually a pretty decent kit. I should have kept it, but I didn't. I played for about a month, maybe in the garage. And then some friends of mine at work had a goth band with a drum machine called Faith and Disease. And they're like, you want to come and just jam with us? So I go over there and jam with them one time, and they're like, it's yours. You can do it. You know, and all I was like, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick. I mean, basic. But I was playing in a band. I didn't really care.
So this is without like no lessons or anything, or?
Oh no, I've never had lessons. Everything I've learned to do on the drums, I heard somebody do it, and I watched somebody do it, and then I went and just did it.
Ever since the trumpet days, it's been a by the ear thing. Crazy.
Oh, I can read music. I mean, I did learn to read music, both because I did also play baritone for a while. So I learned treble and bass clef, and I studied tablature for a while. But really, it's been just listen and emulate, and that's how I've learned to play drums. About a month after joining a band, we were in the recording studio, and like a month later, we signed our first record deal. And it just that's how.
Now, hang on a second. No, hold on, man. This is not happening. So you're 20 something.
20. I just turned 21. Yeah.
Yep. And you start playing drums. Just get on a kit and start playing it. Just all three limbs going different directions at the same time. No lessons. You're in a band. And then how long before you get this record deal? Is it
really? I was in the band when we signed our first deal. I think I'd been in the band 2 months because like we were in the studio.
But
we
how
paid
long
for ourselves.
had you been playing drums at that time?
About a month and a half, maybe
You're
2 months
joking.
after I started playing.
I'm going to end the interview right now because I'm just mad.
Well, no, wait. No, so, okay, here's how I really learned to play drums.
All right.
I remember when the Black Crowes album came out. And so I got that CD, and I would literally, because the drum beats were pretty simple, I would just play along with that. And I could do, quarter notes on the hats and kick, snare, kick, snare. I could emulate that, and just kind of, it went from there. And it was just every day playing about, 4 hours a day when I wasn't at work, and just kind of taught myself. The kicker is I had the drive. I really wanted to learn. And I don't think, I think if I hadn't had the drive, there's no amount of lessons that would have taught me anything. I wanted to be a drummer. I knew I wanted to be a drummer since I was like 5 or 6. And now I got the opportunity. I bought my drum set, not mom and dad. I bought it and went down the road, and off we go. I'm into the Seattle scene in the 90s.
Crazy. So what style of music was this band again that you were in?
It was a goth band. So very much like The Cure, or like Susie, or it was a goth band. It's Dead Can Dance, those kind of bands. And obviously the simpler songs, and it wasn't the technical ones.
You're like, hey, if it gets too much harder, I'm whipping out my trumpet.
Oh my God. No, actually, no, I never wanted to go back. To go back. And I just always gravitated towards really talented drummers, and I would sit there and just study. And I mean, I'd study how they played, how they moved, we practiced next door to Nirvana, who shared a room with a band called the Posies for about 2 years. Hole, which everybody knows Hole, shared a room with a band called Native. We had Mudhoney up the hall. Presidents were in the building. Man, you were like right in the thick of that Seattle scene, man. But I was young and dumb, and I didn't really know anybody, and it was just let me just watch. And I would go to as many shows as I could, and I mean, there was live music in Seattle in the 90s, Monday through Sunday. I mean, 7 nights a week, you could go find bands on stage somewhere, and there were always crowds. And it's like, it was not uncommon for a Tuesday night for there to be a line around the building to go into a club to see a band. And some of the biggest bands, like Pearl Jam, used to come and they play shows locally under Mookie Blaylock, and you knew, okay, Mookie's playing. Yeah, that's Pearl Jam, and you'd go see him. So that was my introduction into music, and I didn't like being in a goth band. I mean, I liked it, but I saw all these grunge bands doing their thing, and so I ended up quitting after we recorded our second album, and a buddy of mine was in a band called Seven Sins. And so he's like, let's put some stuff together. And I only did originals. I didn't do covers and tributes until I moved to Dallas, and actually about 5 years ago got into it. I've always done just originals. And so he was in a band called Seven Sins. I get with him, and him and Joe, who are still lifelong friends. We've known each other, good Lord, 30 years. I mean, these are my boys. I will always be friends with them. And we started a band called Blah. Like, what are we going to call ourselves? Blah. Like, yeah, what kind of day are you having? Blah.
That's just genius, isn't it? It's like genius at work. It's like I had a band back then called, well, in the 80s, called Us. It's like, you know, just as much thought process went into that.
And so we had a deal that went south. We actually had a deal with Gasoline Alley, which is an MCA subsidiary. And just our manager, who is no longer with us, Larry Harris, used to own Casablanca Records. He signed Kiss. He signed Rod Stewart. Yeah, we had a deal, and the deal went south, and they turned around and signed a small band that became huge called Sublime. And we always chuckle to this day, going, that's how close we came to going all the way. And it wasn't in the cards. It wasn't meant to be. Years later, we changed the name of the band to Quickie, and we got on some soundtracks, some movie soundtracks, television. I mean, we've got songs on the Olsen twin movies, Our Lips Are Sealed. We're on the movie. We got a song on Replicate, a couple episodes of Felicity, Parenthood, Vampire Diaries, Switch to Birth. I mean,
are you still getting your checks for that? Your royalty checks for that?
Yeah. We still get a couple nickels here and there, and enough to buy maybe an ice cream cone or a new snare drum or something.
You're doing better than me. I don't even think I can get a 5-cent piece of gum with my
and it's flattering, because you look back, and what you don't know, you don't know. Is that fair to say? You do it because, okay, hey, somebody said, we'll put you, hey, you want to be on a compilation. We have a song on Wayne Kramer from MC5 put a compilation out in the 90s called Beyond Cyberpunk. And Dee Dee Ramone has a song on there. Mudhoney's got a song on there. There's a ton of bands that I didn't meet these guys, but I've got a song on the CD with these guys. We were on a Foot Locker compilation with like Bush and a couple. Again, we were able to get a song on there, and it's like, yeah, but they've got big record deals, and I have none. I feel like that dog. That dog that sees you, he's like, I see that you have a sandwich, and I have none. It's like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, totally. Wow, that's crazy. So how many like albums of y'all to own did you release back then?
Wow. So Quickie put out, I think I'm on every album. I was on the first 2, and then the rest of them, they had a couple other drummers, and actually they keep asking me, let's do one more album, fly up to Seattle, let's record one more album. And we want you to be obviously the drummer on it. So we're doing some cross country post or pre-production, which we were supposed to go last December, and COVID, it just has not gone down. I don't know when I'm going to get to go up to Seattle and actually do some recording with the boys, but I do plan on doing some. I'm going to put out one more original album unless I find some folks locally, and then of course if the music's good, and that's a loaded statement, because what we think is good and what the masses think are good are two different things, and I hear it all the time from folks, especially on my show. Hey, how come you don't have more originals? Or how come, originals aren't getting the same kind of love like tributes or cover bands? And I'm always like, do you know that I think we wrote 15, 20 songs just to find one great one to put on the album? And you think, okay, there's 10 songs on the album. How many did we record that never made it? Or how many did we write that we just threw away? It's just because you think it's cool. that doesn't mean the public's gonna think it's cool, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's totally true, man. That's totally true. I'm curious, like in any songs that you're writing, like what is your part? Is it like everybody has an equal part into it, or do you come in and you have like a tune, like do you play guitar and you're like, hey, check this out, or what's your piece in the writing
So I
process?
always think around on bass. I do have a bass. I have an Ibanez bass amp and an Ampeg, an Ibanez bass and an Ampeg bass amp here at the house, and I do mess around on bass. It's not my forte. I try to make sure that I listen, you know, and I understand drums, or bass, guitar, vocals. I want to hear a guitarist give me a lick, and let's hum some stuff together, and then let me throw down some beats, and let's see what really organically sticks, and not be afraid to tweak it. And you know, some people, everybody's got different writing styles. They truly do. So some guys come in and they go, I've got the whole song orchestrated. This is how it's going to be. Play this part. I've never been in a band like that. It's always been, you know, bring some ideas and let's mash it together, throw it on the wall, and see what sticks.
Yeah, yeah, and then everybody gets to kind of put their flair in there, you know, and add the spice that they want to add. I love that way of writing, and the majority of the bands that I've been in have been that way. But I have played in two bands where it was like there was a main composer in that group that would like write the whole thing and record it with all the parts at their home studio, like with a drum machine and whatnot, and be like, here, do it. And as a drummer, often you think, well, that sucks, I don't want to do that. Well, I didn't want to do it, but the thing was is I grew so much because these guys, they weren't just doing boom tat. They weren't just like, I just laid down a, you know, just a 4/4 boom tat, you
Yeah.
do what you want. They actually wrote these crazy drum parts that were like, what the heck, like stuff I would have never reached out and tried to do. And so I'm thankful that I did have that opportunity though.
Look at Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl leaves Nirvana after, you know, after Kurt's passing, and you know, he kind of floats around, and playing guitar. He had been writing stuff. He goes in the studio and records that first album, you know, and then hires the guys from Sunny Day Real Estate basically to be his backing band, if I understand the whole history right. And down the road we go. I mean, here's a talented guy. He's a drummer, but I think all drummers do yearn to be out front.
I know it's true.
Certain...
I think it's true too, man. It's like, can we not just turn the stage around and everybody can look at our butt the whole time or something? You know, that's a better view, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, probably better. But I mean, it's when you're in a band, I've always seen, I've always viewed it as we are a team. We're only as strong as the weakest link, and every part has every part has its role. And you know, I've been in bands where I've done backing vocals. Right now, I'm blessed that I'm just a drummer. I don't have to sing, and part of that's because I don't think I sing very well, and I'm always worried about my voice because I'm always imagine that. And you know, being a drummer in now a cover tribute band, and I will tell you, there is a beauty to this. Contrary to a lot of folks in original bands, being in a cover tribute band, I love it because you actually get inside the mind of another drummer, and you have to learn their parts. And you and I know a lot of drummers that are doing very well, and it's fun to just as a friend be able to sit there and learn their parts and figure out a little bit more of their thought process and how they approached it. Yeah, and one that I'm going to throw out there, and we both know, is Rich Redmond for Jason Aldean. Great drummer, and to learn his parts is to kind of, you get to learn a little bit more like how he approaches it, what he's thinking, and you just get a glimpse. And I've enjoyed just doing, you know, for me, everybody knows I do Green Day and Billy Idol. I love learning these two drummers, and Bill Trey Cool for Green Day, but you know, I've had to learn like Mark Schulman, who used to play for Billy Idol and now is with Pink, Brian Tishy, and Eric Eldinas, who was recently on my show. And again, learn their interpretation of the music. And again, you get just a glimmer of what they're thinking, and kind of try to step inside their mind. Be no different than me trying to sit down and learn one of your parts and get a little more view of what's going on in your brain when you're recording it or writing it. Does that make
yeah,
that's
totally.
my way of viewing it.
No, it totally makes sense. I mean, it's you know, there's each drummer has like their own style, and whenever I think about that, I always think of the Sean Phillips, the old drummer for Sister Seven out of Austin, Texas, and he was a huge inspiration for me, and he has a very specific style that I really started to emulate back in the mid and late 90s, and being able to do that kind of merges into your own style to create this new style, right? So that where you're
Yes.
taking kind of your own feel with somebody else's, and to be able to pull from that. I think it is a great learning opportunity for sure to be able to play someone else's music like that. Yeah.
But I think ultimately, as drummers, the number one role, and I always tell everybody, thank you all very much. I'm glad you guys enjoy watching me do my little thing. But my job is to be a heartbeat. My job is to be a metronome, and that always has to be the focus. Like, am I playing to the part? And this is again, this is my interpretation of it. Is am I playing to the music, to the part? Not that I'm trying to just ram something in there to fill some space. Sometimes really less is more. And I typically have gravitated towards being a pocket drummer. I like that, just to be in the groove. And yes, I might have a little bit of theatrics to me where I act like animal back there, but yeah, that's me. I can't
What?
help
No,
myself.
you don't. You're just kind of calm and quiet back there.
Oh
You
yes,
know.
it's like tea time behind the drum set. I'm like, could I get another stone, please? And yeah, no, that's I'm trying to break stuff. I got therapy going on back there.
Therapy. That's awesome. That is
Oh
awesome.
my
So,
lord.
is there somewhere that people could check out some of your previous bands? Like, do you guys have any stuff out on YouTube, or is there
Oh,
places you can
absolutely.
find it,
Yep.
Amazon or
Yeah.
anything?
Yep. You go to Amazon. You could go to YouTube. And what's funny is, and Mr. Rose, producer for my show, I had shared something with him. There's an actual video of it for those that are curious about my early days. Shoulder length, straight long hair, and I'm playing the bongos in Faith and Disease. And we were actually on the Spud Goodman show. This has got to be 90, 92 ish, somewhere in there, 91, 92. I am a young puppy. I'm a baby. And even back then, I had the long kind of grungy hippie thing going on. The paisley, imagine that paisley psychedelic shirt. And yeah, you can look it up, Faith and Disease.
Oh, I already have. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
I have it.
God.
I'm about to pull it up on the screen because we don't mess around here. So it looks
Oh, you're
like.
mean.
Let's see. Hold on. Oh my God. Wait. Hold on. I gotta find you. Wait. Is that really you?
Longish hair on the
Oh my
bongos.
gosh.
Yeah.
And you have
There you
like
go.
kind of this like Seattle style shirt on. You actually look
You
kind of
think?
like Tim Naylor to me here. But hold on. I'm
Okay.
gonna totally share this. Don't make me. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
do it.
God.
Come on, dude.
Do it.
We
Go
have
ahead.
we have
I'm
to
okay.
we have to live on the edge, man. It's gonna
This
be
is
fun.
baby Rick. And you know what? I'm not ashamed of it, because I really do believe that all of these things help create who we are today. Again, all the experiences, we become the sum of all our experiences. And I wouldn't, even the bad ones, I wouldn't trade them for the world, because even like some of the most wretched, horrible shows I've ever played,
Right.
I look at them as an opportunity to learn how to succeed. If you can get through a really bad show and still be a professional and take something away from that, then you're always moving forward, because you're not always going to have a perfect gig. The sound man's not always going to give you great sound. Things are going to go wrong. Cymbals might fall over, blah, 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 blah. There's a million things. Learn to just roll with it. I mean, we were at a show. We played a show together. Floor Tom gets a split head in between gigs, bands. What did we do? We flipped it over, took the bottom head off, threw it on top. It's like, be ready to go. Be ready to improvise at all times and just make do.
Oh yeah,
It's what you do.
that's totally true. Hang on, we're gonna show this right now. Hold on.
Oh
And
my
we
God.
can't talk at the same time, but I'm gonna just say
Okay.
that. So this is, if you go to YouTube, I'm not gonna play it, but if you go to YouTube and you search for Faith and Disease and Spud Goodman, you're gonna find this, and this is our buddy Rick. Supposedly, this is him right here. Okay, so
I can't see it, so I
yeah, I
don't know.
know. No, we're gonna have you look at this later and confirm. But I'll send you a link. I'll be like, hey, dude, check this out. This is what I found. So I'm going to actually watch that later and see how that is. That's awesome, man. The 90s.
Oh my
Wow.
Lord. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize this could be therapy. I would have brought the leather couch into here, and
It's always therapy, man. Come
oh my
on.
Lord.
So cool. So tell us, like, when you moved to Dallas, like, how did the whole basket case start out? And like, you were in another tribute band before that too.
No, was not. Hold on.
At
So
the
when
same
I moved to
time?
Dallas in 2004, I was done with music. I retired from music completely. I didn't play. I set the kid up at the house, and once a month I'd go up there and beat the snot out of it. And my neighbors would always come out in the backyard and just listen to me practice. And so I guess about 5.5 years ago, so was it 16, 15, somewhere in there, I decided to get back into music. And when I did, I put a cover band together with my brother-in-law called Fun Time Chaos. And every now and then you'll catch us booking a gig and Fun Time Chaos will jump on stage and do some covers. And we did it for about 6 months. And the very first song that we learned was Geek Stink Breath by Green Day. Let's fast forward a few months and I'm watching all these tribute bands and I'm like, what's going on over here? And I guess the tribute thing is what you do. You pick a band and, like Rockstar, that's what you do. So we put a Green Day tribute and I'm like, let's take their very first big hit that everyone knows, Basket Case. Let's do it. And that's what we'll call ourselves. And that's how kind of Basket Case formed. Scotty Rockets, the drummer for Guns N' Roses Experience, he was our singer at the time. And then basically Gabe, my brother Gary, we were the original band. And we've all we've kind of, most of us have stayed together. About a year into it, we picked up Mike Rose, who everybody also knows from Back in Time. And he's been with us, I think, 4 years. So yeah, we've been together about 5 years now, pumping out some Green Day. And I will tell you, it is an arduous endeavor. Sometimes punk rock can scare people. It can. I was the drummer for a couple of years for Sedated, the world's greatest Ramones tribute. And again, even though everybody, so Ramones is the Ramones, punk rock kind of scares people. It's against the system. It's, do your own thing. And then when I left Sedated, I joined Rebel Yell, and I've been with Rebel Yell for a couple of years now, doing the Billy Idol thing. So but Basket Case has been my one constant through this whole journey. Yeah. And I've been in the scene, 5.5 years.
So what's been your favorite, like when you look back on everything you've done, your original bands, the two or three different original bands, and then these tributes and the cover bands and all that, like when you look back through all of it, what has been your favorite thing?
The journey. Every band, you can't say one is more favorite than the next. They've all had really magical moments. They've all had some really trying times, but the journey as a musician has been my favorite part. Is starting in 90 as a fledgling percussionist, that it goes back farther, but where I really see my music career starting was in 90 when I got a drum set. And just the journey, it's I love rehearsals. I love being out on stage in front of people. I love recording. I love the studio. I like being on the road. I mean, there's so much that makes it up. It's I hope that I get to play drums for many more years. But when my life is, when we get to the final chapter here, I'm going to be thankful that I got to be a musician and I got to entertain people. And I think the most magical part is when you have a young child come up to you and they are just like, wow. And you see the smile on their face. For me personally, those are the best parts of all of this. It's not even rocking the crowd, or maybe I played a great show, or it's when that little kid comes up and I'm a sucker. I will always find a drumstick for a young one that comes up and they're like, oh, I loved it. Thank you so much. It was great. And I'm always like, here's a drumstick, because that could be the next generation of musicians. That could be the night. And I know I'm sappy when I say this, but that could be the night that you inspire that next generation of musician. So those are the moments that really make this whole thing awesome.
Man, I don't think I could think of a better way to put all that. I mean, that's so cool, because it's true, man. You look back through everything and all the experiences that you get from each individual group that you play with, or the different musicians that you cross paths with, or studio, like you said, studio, traveling, live shows, all ages shows. We got the kids and all that inspiration and encouragement along the way and learnings. It's amazing.
It's you become a sum of everybody that you interact with. I mean, there's been influences from you on me. There's a list. Everybody that you interact with, it influences you one way, shape, or form. You just don't know always how. And it's, I think that there's a necessity and an obligation to give back. Part of the reason I started my little show where I interview people is to promote shows and, interview artists, both locally and nationally, and give them a platform to, you and I've met a lot of local musicians that have never had the experiences that I've had. And, when we talk about it, they're like, oh my God, you've been on the road and you've done this, that, and another. And when I interview people, it's like, I want you on my show, because how many people have never left the garage, but they played music their whole life and they've always yearned to get on stage. And I always say, go to an open mic, put your toe in the water, man, get a feel for it. It's addictive. There's 3 rules. And I say this to everybody. I have 3 personal rules. Number 1, I play for me first. I am here to have fun. I play for me first. Second, I play for my bandmates. I got to have fun. I got to make sure they're having fun. I got to make sure I'm doing my job for them. Third, I play for the fans. And I know that sounds pretty selfish, but if the first 2 aren't working, then the audience isn't going to have fun. If the audience isn't having fun, you got to go back to you and go, are you playing for yourself? Are you having a good time? Because if you're not, the audience is never going to buy it. And really, people go to music. They want to see live music because they want to escape. They want to have fun. And that's come on. When times are tough, I put my headphones in and I grab my phone and it used to be an iPod, or before then it was a Walkman, tape and CD. And you want to listen to music and escape, and that's what music does. So be honest, be true. There's no shame in saying I'm up here to have fun. I am 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It has to start there. Cause if you're not happy, ain't no one going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like
nobody
it trickles down. I don't want to forget. I've got a lot of people here that we need to give shout outs to real quick. So I want to give a shout out to Lawrence, Kathy, Amy, Greg has been in the house most of the night. Greg Newberry, Rod, Daniel, Michael, my drumming buddy, been in the house. We have a couple of funny comments here, so I have to read them. But I want to give a shout out to Brian and Marshall. What's up, Marshall? Thanks for joining the show tonight, man. Okay, so we've got a few comments here from Greg. Some of these
my Lord.
Comments. So
you don't have to read Greg's. I'm okay with it.
No, see, yeah, no. This is the comedy portion of the show. No. He says, I played a trumpet in middle school, and I can't carry a tune in a bucket till this day. So funny. And I got to read this from my buddy Daniel. He says he was a drummer in junior high. Then the police explorers kicked in and gave up the snare for my voice. Drill sergeant was my position. And then we needed a drummer for honor guard. Guess who picked up the 6 again? This guy. And I've a new kit, and he's ready for Drummathon, which is sweet. Daniel, you're awesome, dude. He said,
nice.
Even if it's virtual, he said, whatever it is. And then nice. Greg, I'm just going to read this to humor Greg because he put this in here. So I know he wants me to read it. He says, my question is for Rick, and this is related to a post you made today, dude. He says, are you going to be working the corner this weekend? And saw your post about Harry Hines. I was like, what is happening? And then he also says, he says, what do you get for a box of ding dongs? So let's just
whoa.
Look,
wait,
man,
let's dive into that comment.
Yeah, no, this is a family show.
Ding dongs are made by Hostess. I happen to like them. They're chocolate covered delights, and I am addicted to. That's my sweet tooth. Anybody who knows me, I am addicted to ding dongs. And when I run out, I am moody. Like, I know everyone's like, Rick, you should be on a diet. I love Hostess. They are the greatest company on the face of the earth. And yes, thank you, Hostess, for your ding dongs. I love it.
He's like, I'm endorsed by Hostess. Like,
oh, I'm not, but you could.
Yeah, you need to get like a ding dong bass drum head or something,
There'll be a pallet of ding dongs in my driveway in the morning. I'm okay with it.
And every time you hit the bass drum, the cream filling comes out the porthole there. I think it's a great idea, man. Fabulous marketing. We were talking about fabulous marketing, dude. Come on.
Hostess, you can call me tomorrow. I'll give you my number. Go ahead, message me.
Oh my God, man.
Oh my Lord. Well, no, I had a rough day, and I posted on there. I had to do, we are, even though we're musicians, we own homes. And yes, I had to do foundation today, and Monday I had to do hot water tank. I'm like, this house is going to eat me alive. I'm just saying, if you see me on a corner with a cup, don't ask questions. Just throw a nickel, a penny, a quarter, $100 bill in there. I'm okay with it. I'll donate part of the proceeds to Breast Cancer Can Stick It.
He'll withhold from having a new water heater just so we can raise some money for some mammograms. Thanks, man.
I sabotaged it. That's it.
Yeah, totally in, man. Oh my God. Well, you brought up Concert Connection a little bit earlier.
Oh.
And I really want you to tell everybody, how did this come to you, and when did you start doing it?
May 5th, Cinco de Mayo will be 3 years. In 3 years, we've missed 2 shows. It's been a weekly show for 3 years, and it's been a challenge through COVID. I got people messaging me going, when COVID hit, like, are you going to stop the show? And I said, there's no way. I'm not. We will find a way. Some of the early video were a little rough, and that's okay. We got through it, but I started it out as the Concert Connection was started out because I thought that there was something that was being missed. Everybody was promoting their bands locally, like a million different places. And I thought, well, what if we do an MTV style Concert Connection where we announce where the local bands are? Okay, that was the premise for it. Kind of like Kurt Loder used to have that minute on MTV. And it was great. And then I started I brought a couple people in and I started doing really short, like 5-7 minute interviews, and then the concert, calendar. And then with COVID, it kind of, it went to, I was doing full tilt interviews and we weren't doing any concerts because nobody was really playing. And I tried to do a few and then they get canceled. Again, it was hard to make anything stick. And then recently I've gotten back to doing the concert calendar. I'm doing 2 shows now. Concert Connection and then the concert calendar. And I've got some other ideas on how I may change it. But the whole thing was to just to give back to the music scene that I'm taking from. And there's not a musician in the scene that's not taking something from it. We want to play gigs. And I felt an obligation to give back to the local music community. And one day I will be done with music and I will walk away. And I'm hoping to leave the local scene, which I'm benefiting from. And I get a lot of joy from. I want to leave it in better shape than I found it. And so I started Concert Connection, and I'll do it as long as y'all let me do it. I remember the first show, we had maybe 25 views and now we get 15 to 20,000 views a week, and it was just kind of grown, and I don't know where it's going to go. I really don't have a master plan. This is really me. When I talk to folks, I have a couple ideas of questions I want to ask, but really I want that to just be conversation. I want to get to know the person on the other side or in the room with me. You're another musician. I just want to get to know you and let's just talk. Sometimes we don't even talk about music. I mean, I had Dan Castile on a couple of weeks ago, and all we talked about was Philly cheesesteaks, because he's from the Northeast. And I'm like, we should just start a food channel because I could talk food with you all day long. And that's okay because you get a real sliver or slice of that person instead of the generic. What is the best guitar solo ever? What was the best drummer? Those questions are all subjective because we all have an opinion. I just want to find out more about people. And so that's how Concert Connection started, and it's progressed to what it is today. And now it's I love doing it. As long as y'all let me talk, I will continue to interview people, and I'm blown away at how many people are reaching out to me constantly going, hey, I want to come on the show. Please.
That's really awesome, man. It really has gotten people, ramped up. They're just excited about it. It's a great way to connect, and like you said, it's a great way to have an opportunity for people to know those folks in the music community. That's like just talking to you right now. It's like we see Rick everywhere, but where did Rick come from? How did this all start? And so many people don't know your story, and I love sharing those stories, man.
Well, because I've never really done an interview. I'm always the guy interviewing, and I do in all of them. I do share myself. Don't get me wrong. I do. I give everybody, relatable. It's part of the conversation. But I've never sat and just had somebody interview me and ask me, and I'm pretty open about what I've done. But again, I still think it's we are very blessed. We are very blessed. I've been in 2 music scenes, the Seattle scene and the Dallas-Fort Worth scene, and I've been blessed twice with lightning in a bottle, because I'm telling you, both scenes were incredible. The 90s, I love being in Seattle. Right now in Dallas-Fort Worth, we have an incredible music scene. And I strongly urge folks, if you're a musician and you thought about getting in a band, get in a band, get out there, hit the stage. There's wonderful venues. If you're just a fan of music, get out there. Paris has the Louvre. Paris, France has the Louvre. Sydney, Australia has the Orchestra House. There are gems all over this planet. We have a gem in our backyard. This is a diamond. People talk about the Austin, Austin music scene. Guess what? We've got one too. Get out and support live local music. On Monday morning, when you go into work and they say, what did you do this weekend? Do you want to say, oh, I mowed the yard, picked up dog crap, and I watched TV? Or I picked up dog crap, mowed the yard, and then I went out and I rocked out at a venue and saw some incredible live music. I'll take live music every single time.
Right. Get your fill of that music and that. I mean, it's just I'm totally with you, man.
Either way, I'm picking up dog crap and mowing the yard. So
exactly.
I mean,
I did notice that. I was like, wait, he's still picking up dog crap.
yeah,
Like, how do you get around that part? I don't know.
Get rid of the dogs, and that's not going to happen because they're my babies. And yeah,
crazy, dude. So 150-ish shows with Concert Connections, man. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it is a labor of love. I promise folks that I am not making money off this. I do it 100% for free. The money that we do get from endorsements and sponsorships, all of it goes right back into the show. I've never taken a penny out of it. We've spent some on koozies, which you will see floating around. I got to get more. We've thought about getting t-shirts, but really I use it to help produce the show. And it's not going in our pockets. It's, we've donated some money to some causes. And just again, it's supposed to be about doing good. I have a real day job, folks. I do. I work 10, 12 hours a day, and then this is what I do for fun. And can't think of a better way of spending my time, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and you're so right, man. The Dallas-Fort Worth music scene is awesome. It's not just great music, but it's great people. Like, it's just like this big bucket of freaking love out there, man. Like, for real.
It is.
Like, seriously.
And you get out of it what you put into it. Okay, this is a very true statement. You get out of it what you put into it. If you don't put anything into the scene, you're not going to get anything really out of it. The joy comes from helping others, not because you expect something in return. And not to say that I don't have moments where I go, oh, really? And there have been folks that maybe I didn't see eye to eye with, but I've still helped them. I've still promoted them because it's what we're supposed to do. I'm human. I get my feelings hurt just like everybody else. But you know what? I love what we have. And I really do. I want to see the younger generation come up and dive into this. I want them to go, that looks like fun. Let me learn an instrument, or I know an instrument. Let me put a band together. Let me get in on this, because some of us are getting older, 51. And one day we're not going to be doing this. I want the younger ones to come up and teach us older folks a little something. And I'm not old by any means, but I want to learn some from them. There's a whole give and take. I get excited about it. So I'm hoping we'll inspire some young ones.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, tell everybody how they can catch your show and when it's on and all that.
So we post the show every Wednesday. You can catch us. We post it to Facebook, but we are on iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify. We're also on YouTube. We do have an Instagram and Twitter account, which I'm horrible at keeping up with. We do have a Roku channel, and we have an Amazon Fire channel. So there are many mediums that you can catch us on every week. Usually the concert calendar is now coming out on Wednesdays as well, trying to stagger them so you guys don't go, wait a second, is it double vision? Is he tripping and posting his show like 12 times in one day on the same page? No, we've got both of them. The typical interviews are, about 30, 40 minutes long. Sometimes I never shut up and it's an hour. The concert calendar, I'm trying to keep it 5-7 minutes, short enough to highlight what's going on this weekend. We also do support that with our page, Concert Connection, which there's an events section. You can click on the link. It'll take you right there. I encourage all the local bands, please post your events there. Share your events there. We also have an app, which is it's a free app, put it on your phone, called In the Pit with Rick. And that has a calendar on it as well, that we're trying to integrate all this together, where there's no excuse for, as a fan, you can't find some live music any night of the week. And as a band, you don't have an avenue to promote said live music every night of the week. It's let's get people out. Instead of being zombies to the television, which I happen to like zombie movies, just saying, you can actually get out and see some live local music, and it's good for the soul. It's good for the soul. There you go.
Amen, dude. Wow, I'm gonna just take that clip. It's good for the soul, and just use it. Make like a animated GIF or something. And
oh my! Thanks. That's exactly. I need that with the T-Rex.
That's excellent. Well, where's your next shows too, man? Fill us in.
Let's see. I've actually got, I think I'm jumping on stage with Basket Case on April 23rd down at Three Links, which is a little punk club across from Trees in Deep Ellum. I'm excited about it just because there's something about getting in the small little clubs and rocking out that is just, yeah, I love it. And then I think I'm back on stage in May with Rebel Yell. I think I've got a couple weeks where I get a little breather here. It's not gig after gig after gig. We were just in Oklahoma City. I was just down in Houston. Been over at Gas Monkey a couple times. So it's nice to kind of have, you go through these spurts where you're just bing, 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 go, go, go. And it's nice to have a couple weekends off to just, I'll get to go out and see some live local music. And I promise you, I look at my calendar after I announce it. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to go see that one. And then the tough part is when me and the wife are going, she was like, no, I want to see that. And I'm like, I want to see that. She's like, well, fine, you can go by yourself. I'm like, no, I'll go see yours. And
you're like, oh man, all right. But hey, either way, you're still going out in the music scene. So it's all good, man.
There are, and I find, and I'm human. I find myself going to see a lot of my friends' bands over and over and over again because there's bands that I just love, but there's a lot of bands that I want to see that I haven't seen. And my wife is phenomenal about reminding me, like, Rick, you do Concert Connection. Don't you want to go see this band? You said you did, and I'm like, I do. And so I love the fact that she's like, let's go over here, let's go to the Barley House today, or let's go to Lee Harvey's instead of we're always at, Legacy or Gas Monkey or, Tease or the Revel or there's a zillion clubs, Lava. Let's go see, you like going to some of these smaller clubs. And I do, I absolutely do. Some of the best times I've ever had are seeing young bands that I've never seen before at some of these smaller clubs. And I remember those gigs. And that's why I will tell you, getting back to some of those smaller stages are a hoot. I'm very blessed. I play some great stages, but I like maybe not so much the originality, but the simplicity of some of the smaller
intimacy,
venues.
Man. The intimacy of that is fantastic,
Yeah. So it's and I'm actually there's a couple local tributes that have given me their set list that I'm working on that I might be sitting in with in July. That the drummers are going to be out, and they said, hey, would you learn our set? So there may be some surprise guest appearance with some fairly well-known local tributes coming up in June and July.
Sweet, dude. You'll have to keep us posted, man. And in the meanwhile, we'll get back to our Drummathon committee meetings and start working on
we will.
Whatever's happening this year, whatever surprises we have coming up.
And I'd like to tell everybody, please, I have a lot of causes I work with. I love being a part of Drummathon and helping Breast Cancer Can Stick It get the word out there. If you haven't been to one of our events, please come out to an event. You will not be disappointed. If it's virtual, please tune in. You're going to see a plethora of talent, and we are raising money for a great cause. And I know most of you ladies understand, how devastating breast cancer can be, not just physically, but emotionally. So my message is always to the guys, if you know 8 women in your life, just 8 on your claws and paws, if you could count 8, mom, sister, girlfriend, wife, friend, aunt, granny, I don't care. If you have 8 of them in your life, one of them is going to get breast cancer. Why would you not donate $20? Why would you not donate $100? Because I guarantee you, if they get breast cancer, there's nothing you wouldn't give to help them. So do it now. Let's help find a cure. Let's help provide for those that are less fortunate. Let's get the awareness out there so maybe we can prevent some of the gruesomeness of what is breast cancer. And so I'm pleading to the guys. And by the way, less than 1% of men get breast cancer, but they do get breast cancer. So don't think that we're oblivious to it. We're not. So I encourage and I challenge all the guys out there, get involved. This is not just about the ladies, because all you boys like the tatas too. So don't make me go there. Get involved. Throw some money in the hat.
Dude,
I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, man. Thanks, man. I'm like, I am cutting this and making a commercial, and I'm gonna put it all over the place, man. Rick has nailed it, dude. You really have.
I say it a lot
too, man. I mean, the guys, they do get breast cancer. We have our Survivors Rock and Breast Cancer Can Stick It community here on Facebook, and we have a male breast cancer survivor in that group. And he's not the first male breast cancer survivor I've met. I've met 3 male breast cancer survivors. I know there's plenty more out there. Peter Criss is a breast cancer survivor from KISS. So it is important just to be aware of your body, no matter if you're a man or a woman, and get things checked out, man. It's not funny, man. You got to stay on top of that,
I'm dealing with health issues, and I'm somewhat private about my life, but I will tell you, if I needed help, I wouldn't hesitate to get out there. I go to the doctor regularly. I mean, we're all getting older, and life does, in this world we live in, life throws curveballs at us. And again, this is a great cause. I'm going to say it one more time. Boys, I challenge you, get off your butt, throw $20 in the hat, throw $100 in the hat, because you may not need it now, but if one of your dearly loved ones was affected by it, there's not a single penny you wouldn't pay to help them. I challenge you, get involved now.
So true, man. Man, thank you so much, Rick, for being here. And man, that great testament you've just given that we're just gonna have to cut up and throw all over the place is phenomenal. So I really
Thank you.
appreciate your support of breast cancer, considering everything you do for the Drummathon Committee. And
My pleasure.
just
My
having
pleasure.
you as a brother out there, my brother from another mother, in the music community, and a fellow drummer that I can call and count on as a dear friend, man. I just love you so much, and I'm so thankful that you're in my
I love
life.
you too.
All the encouragement and motivation, and inspiration you've given me just the last days, I really appreciate, my friend.
It's mutual, sweetheart. It is mutual. I mean, it's you inspire me every day with what you've done with you started out at ground zero. First of all, you had to fight. You had to battle cancer. And then you said, no, I'm going to do something about it. That is a warrior. And I think we all have that warrior spirit. Not all of us tap into it. You have inspired so many people to get involved. And I love that about you. Don't stop fighting. It doesn't ever get old. Okay. This is always something that the battle will continue until we have a cure for cancer. We will always battle. And
Amen.
It's not because a cure for cancer. Here's what you guys don't realize. Cure for cancer is a cure for cancer. Be it breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer. I don't care what it is. A cure for cancer is a win because that knowledge will radiate across the board, and we'll find cures for all of it. One day, maybe we'll beat cancer completely.
Amen to that, brother. Totally. Yes. And with that, I'm going to let you go, dude. You have yourself a great night. And I'm going to definitely show this beat and repeat recurring donations so everybody will have a chance right now to check that out. So everybody, thank you so much. And check this out. Rick, thank you for joining. And we'll see you on the flip side, man.
Catch you guys on the flip side, somewhere in the pit.